You ever lost a girl or saw her lose interest and you're like, what the hell happened? Everything was perfect. We were so happy. We just did this. We just went on a trip. What happened? The reason is always below the surface. The reason is always a truth so offensive and so brutal that nobody talks about it because it's deemed as being hateful towards women. Well, you can't blame me for how women are. And in this video, I'm gonna outline the dark psychology of why women lose interest, why it happens at different stages, what you did at each stage that probably caused this to happen, and as much as I can say that is the brutal truth without getting banned, okay? So I'm gonna deliver that to you because it's very important to understand. You have to rip the band-aid off of what you understand women to be and how you perceive women. If you look at my beautiful diagram, you will see 4 different lines. The blue one is the best one. You spiked interest super quickly and it only got stronger with time and it never ended. Red is nuke. This is when things only last a few weeks, maybe a few months at that. Green, a lot better. You're lasting 6 months to a couple years. And black is 3 to 6 months before she lost interest. And you can do any of the mistakes I'm gonna outline in these phases at any time. They don't help, okay? Whether you do them here or there, these mistakes are not gonna help you. They're only gonna work against you. So let's start out with the first meeting, okay? No emotion on the date. There was no tension, there was no polarity, there was no spark created on the date, which is why she lost immediate interest on the first meeting. Now, the dark psychology reason of this is women think you are incompetent if you cannot spike the emotions they want from you. You don't know how to behave with women, you don't know what you're doing, etc., etc., etc. So it makes them think you're stupid, low intelligence, worthless, boring, etc. That's the truth. You didn't go for it. That's another big reason why interest wasn't created on the first date. That will make her feel like you're not a man, okay? I don't care how much of this Me Too shit you've heard. If you don't go for it with women, they have no respect for you. They think you will get them killed, not be able to protect them, and not be able to provide because you don't have the masculine hunter instinct to kill, literally. Dark psychology. You also have to understand, women, from the very first second you start talking to them, or meet them, or match, they need to know you're better, but not in a, oh yeah, you scored higher on this test, or you make more money. No, no, no. I mean on a dark emotional and mental psychological level. They have to know that you can kill them. They have to know that you can dominate them. They have to know that you can argue them. They have to know that you can do everything better and end their life, okay? That's the truth. If they look at you as a man and think, I think I could take him, it's over, okay? It's over. There needs to be the fear of death. Quite literally. This is why you clicked on this video. This is dark psychology. If women don't fear any of these things, that you could just have your way with her to degrees I cannot even mention because it's YouTube, there won't be interest. There won't be respect. And you do that indirectly, of course, with your behavior, with your texting, with your in-person, to demonstrate how superior you are, and you dominate them. If you don't dominate them, you're cooked. It's not what women desire by any means. Now, let's look at 1 week to maybe a few months, okay, in this ballpark. You started caring and prioritizing her. That's why she hates you. You have to understand, when you care about a woman, you don't care about women, how women care about you. But because you're conditioned with Disney and you want to make her happy, and so you think, well, I'm going to do what she's doing to me because that'll make her happy, blah, blah, blah. All this logic that makes no sense to women is why it doesn't work. You care about women by making them feel like you're a leader, by making sure that she knows that you have the hierarchy, etc., blah, 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 and you're assertive. You don't care about women by checking in on them or doing any of that. The second you start caring for her and prioritizing her, all respect dies. Because now you're behaving energetically and spiritually like a nurturing fucking woman, okay? You're not her mom. You should be, if anything, more like her dad, right? She barely sees him, takes her phone away, puts her in timeout. Like, this is more or less the dynamic they need, quite literally. When you care, you act like her mother. When you care for a woman and prioritize her, you literally act like her mother. Obviously, she hates it. Obviously, on a dark psychological level, she thinks you're gay. Magic Johnson. She no longer sees you as powerful, and this corrodes over time with behavior and with the words you say, and again, this can happen at any moment, but on a deep psychological level, women need to see you as powerful and having so much leverage, and you could just end their life. That's what it is, okay? That fear should never leave. The fear creates the perception of power. Respect does not create the perception of power. You know how I know this? Because you could have a relationship where she could respect the things you do. She could respect the job you have or the business you build. She could respect it. She'd be like, yeah, it's respectable. But deep down, still want to fuck someone else. Why? No fear, no chaos, which I'm gonna get to. None of that. Because women play the game on emotions, and so they can have respect for the things you do on a logical level. Yeah, logically he's successful. Logically he checks the boxes. Logically, I'm sure you've heard that, right? He checked every box, but there was something missing. Why? Because box checking and accomplishments and the logical side of things doesn't tap into the dark psychological need for a fear of you. If that's not there, then they don't really like you, especially not long term. That's when you become the safe option, and they might even marry the safe option, but they'll never like truly want you. They'll always want to fuck someone else. You never put her in her place, and this often stems from you being in a place of fear of approval, scarcity, etc. early on. And again, you need to maintain all the things I'm saying forever. And if you never put her in her place, then again, you're acting like the mother, you're not acting like the father, and so there's just no desire there. On a dark psychological level, if you do not put a woman in her place, she will view you as a bitch. No desire. You're not powerful. She has the power. Therefore, what is she doing here? You have to put her in her place. They will purposefully act like even more weasels just so you can put them in their place. And every single time that happens, and you agree with them, you have a discussion, you talk about it, and you do literally anything, but put her in her goddamn weasel place, she loses respect and desire for you and interest. And this corrodes over time. Now let's look at stage 3. This is 3 to 6 months, okay? She could have used you for comfort. Like, if we're getting really brutal here, you could have been in just a convenient rebound. And you have to pick up these things and you have to see them clearly really early on, right? But this is the time where the mask starts to slip. If she just pulls away and the dynamic never changed, she was just using you. But again, if you do the right things on the front end, that won't be possible. But maybe you were a rebound. And now she's like, I'm over all of that, and you know, time's up, I'm good, I'm moving on, etc. Okay? Another thing could have been you created peace. The reason she lost interest is because you created peace. You're a man. You think logically, you love peace, you don't want drama, you don't want chaos. The problem is, women are not like that. The problem is, in times of peace, women start to think about where they can get their chaos from. They start to feel a little bored. And when there's so much peace in a situation, a relationship, that there's never any chaos, and they're just bored, and they never feel the tension, the fear, these negative emotions, their mind will wander where they can get it from. And that's always in the form of another guy. Because the only thing women think about all day long is men, okay? All day fucking long. There's literally nothing else women think about. And so if you're dating a girl for 3, 4, 5 months and things are peaceful and easy and good, you can bet your fucking ass she's thinking about a guy that will treat her poorly. I can guarantee everything on my life. She is thinking about a guy that's gonna treat her like a piece of fucking shit. Because that's what they need. Because that is the domination in the hierarchy that makes them feel good. That makes them feel loved. This is reality. Peace, appeasing them, not having any chaos, not having any fear of a replacement, all of that creates content. It creates zero desire because this is a necessary part of the female equation. You need to create order through chaos, okay? This is a term the elites use for controlling civilization. But when it comes to women, not only is this necessary, but they need it. They need the chaos, the order, the chaos, the order, the chaos, the order. They need it. Without the chaos and just with like measly order, not enough tension, not enough emotion, not enough emotional stimulation. Chaos, order. And you as the man have to create the structure. Because again, if you don't create the structure, you don't create the order or the chaos, I guarantee it, okay? God is my witness. Either A, they will create their own chaos and force you to create order, which you probably won't because you're probably soft. Or 2, they will leave entirely to a man that does this, AKA a Chad that doesn't fucking care about them. That's all they want. And this is why, with your perfect little, Disney perspective on life, they're losing interest. Because you're not doing any of this. Because you think it's cruel, you think it's mean, you think it's vicious, you think it's wrong. They need it. Without it, they will hate you. You started listening to her. Big reason why women lose interest in months 3 to 6 is because you started listening to her. You started taking her advice. You started slowly but surely following her lead. What do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? What do you think I should wear? If any of those things come out of your mouth, pack it up. You're putting the nail in the coffin. On a dark psychological level, women hate men that look to them for opinions, thoughts, beliefs, information, direction. It is the most unbecoming thing on planet earth. They want a guy that literally never considers their opinion because they know they're inferior. They know they're weasels. And when they see a guy, it doesn't matter that you love her. It doesn't matter that you want to make her happy. It doesn't matter that you want to put her first and all this stuff you think you're doing right. They will simply look at that action and be like, oh my God, this is bad. The leader's looking at the follower. The king is looking at the weasel for what to do, what to wear, what to eat. We have a big problem here. We have a big fucking problem. And they will start to plan a backup plan, an escape route, because you started listening to a woman. You can never listen to her. They will hate you for it. All right, let's look at 6 months to multi-years. 6 months to multi-years. No fear of replacement. If she never feels like you can replace her immediately because you got too comfortable and you prioritize her and you got soft and you stop making her feel the competition, right? The feeling of competition that she had earlier on, she will forget your value. She will forget that you are desired. She will forget that she has to put in work to keep you. She will get comfortable. She will get lazy. She will stop doing things. She will stop respecting you. All because there's zero fear of replacement. Women see your value based on the other women you have, the other options you have. They thrive off it. It gives them a high, an intoxication, taking you from other women. It is intoxicating. When you remove all of that from the equation, what are they fighting for? You know? Where's the fun here? Where's the motivation? It doesn't exist. She changed you and she hates it. Very common. If you're dating a girl for a year and she fully succeeded in changing you, the things you like to do, how you spend your time, what TV you watch, how much you work, what food you eat, what workouts you do, it's over. She can never change you, ever. You always have to maintain the things you like to do. You always have to maintain your interests and your beliefs and your hobbies. If you adopt any of them from her on a dark psychological level, she thinks you're an idiot and a loser. Again, won't respect you. You let her do things. Let me tell you why this destroys all interest long term. The more you let her do, the less structure you have given her. The less structure you give a woman, the more she feels like she doesn't need you. There are deep psychological and subconscious needs women have of men, right? Domination, structure, leadership, etc., etc. You're removing her needs of you when you show that you cannot do the things that are required on this deep level. And of course she's gonna bait you. Of course she's gonna guilt trip you. Of course she's gonna say so many things to try to get you to let her do more and more things. If you cave and if you bend, you're showing on a subconscious level you cannot give her what she needs, which is that structure piece. You're acting like the mom. You need to be the dad, the father. Literally no. Tell her no all the time, often. It should be her favorite word. If you never do that and you let her do things, she will not have respect for your discernment or your leadership. Don't let her do shit. You didn't manage who influences her. This is a big one. On a dark psychological level, women cannot form original thoughts. It's all herd think. It's all herd think. It's all group influenced. And if you do not control and manage who influences her, in a matter of 6 months to a year, with the help of social media and a few new friends, she is now going to demand more, be less respectful, desire you less. Why? She was influenced. She was influenced by her single friends. She was influenced by her friends in relationships who make her feel jealous because they tell her, well, my boyfriend does all this for me. Why doesn't he let you do that? Blah, 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 blah. They have no principles that are their own. It's all a cumulative opinion of whatever influences them. This will cause fights. This will cause changes in desires. This will cause an inexplicable amount of problems. If you do not control this, by the way, they want you to control it. They want you on a dark psychological level to have the fucking balls to say, you're not hanging out with that bitch. She's nuts. Not fucking happening. Again, father or mother. Your communication bent to her demands. What does that mean? It means in times of problems, in disagreements, etc., you started to communicate like a woman. What I mean by that is, let's say you're having a stupid disagreement or she brings something to you, okay, that she's upset about. Your whole job is to change state, right? We know this. Change emotional state. That's what you do to solve this and move on. But through exposure and through spending so much time with her, now instead of changing state quickly and playfully and in a fun way and in a dominant way very quickly, you also start to communicate with her. You also start to talk about your feelings and sit down and have these long drawn out conversations about bullshit trying to change her mind. She's clocking this in real time. Woman, gay. You cannot bend your communication style. It should be shorter, more concise, more logical, from a top-down perspective. If you get into a situation or relationship where the communication is now like 50-50 and feelings are being exposed and all this bullshit, kiss it goodbye. Kiss it goodbye. Because you're a man and you need to just say no. You need to just play with the emotions. You're the puppet master. They need this from you on a dark psychological level. If you want to finally start winning with women and feel like you actually have the power as a man in modern dating, click the links below to work with me one-on-one, and I'll see you in the next video.